Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to let you in on what my channel is about. It's my day-to-day life in Seattle, traveling between here to see friends and family in other parts of the United States, as well as just Disney. And so, as you can tell by the title of this video, it is getting close to the time that we're about to go to Disney. So that means we are finishing up our plans, and I'm excited to finally walk you all through our plans and when we're going, the dates and details, what we're flying, where we're staying, and our day-to-day plans. And that way, maybe if you are in the parks at that time too, you can maybe say hello, be featured in the vlog, and we can just become friends IRL rather than just online. So I have my Walt Disney World sweatshirt on. We have Main Street USA on the TV, and I have a little bit of a sore throat today, so we are using my resort mug because I have a little peppermint tea in here. I was unsure of what cup to use, and then I was like, my resort mug, duh. So I will be stopping at random times probably in this video to take a nice big drink of my hot tea because my throat is just like killing me. So if you see me stopping randomly for this, you know why. It's so refreshing. I can't even tell you guys. So without further ado, let's get into the Disney World plans. So I usually start I usually start planning everything on my phone. And part of the reason is because when I'm booking for Disney related things, I'm usually in the app through my Disney Experience account. And so it's easy for me to copy all the confirmation codes and put them into my notes app, so I just always have for reference later. Same with stays and also same with flights. And so from there, I just start building out using the Apple Notes app, bullet points, check off little markers and stuff, and headlines and different text sections, all those things to build out the plans. I've seen some creators on here who do the Disney plan videos. They will use like Excel or Google Sheets, Notion, Trello. And so I think whatever you're used to, use that, because you definitely don't want to get to the parks and not know what your plans are and not have them easily accessible. So for me, that's my notes app. It doesn't kill my battery when we're in the parks either, so I can always just refer back to our plans. Of course, I have the My Disney Experience app. A lot of things are going to be loaded in there anyways, but that does drain the battery. So you just got to be mindful of those types of things. But for now, we are going to be reviewing everything in my iPad because obviously Apple products sync. So it makes my life easier to go through all of the plans. Hold on. I need another drink of tea. So first things first, the dates and details. We are going to be, I'm trying to find the best way to describe this without it sounding confusing. So our travel days are February 11th through the 16th, Valentine's through President's Day weekend. We are traveling down on the 11th. We take off from Seattle at 11:30 at night. We get to MCO as we're taking a direct red-eye flight, I think at 7:45 in the morning. And then we're doing park days on the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and then we'll fly back to Seattle the 16th on a direct flight early in the morning, putting us back into Seattle at about, I'd say, lunchtime. We are flying Delta Airlines, which, what do y'all commonly fly? I'm trying to make the switch right now from Alaska to Delta. I've used them both over the past couple years, being that we're in Seattle, and Alaska Airlines in this area specifically has a lot of flights just coming from this area and going in and out. But I feel like the customer service isn't always there. The flights, for what we pay, the planes are just not as nice. I know that they recently are going through some changes, and I hope that things get better, but I feel like I've never had a negative experience with Delta Airlines, and my husband has an Amex card, and our goal is to pay down the rest of the debt on that and then apply for the Delta Amex. So then that way we have lounge access almost across the US, just because we frequently fly into different places when we're visiting family or friends. So I'm always just curious to know what people fly and why, and the perks, and even the credit cards that maybe you used to book travel on. So drop that in the comments and let me know what you guys like to fly, and maybe even just why, and if I should consider it or not. For this flight, we are actually taking a carry-on suitcase. And the last time we went to Disney in the summer, if you've been here from day one, you know I posted my first vlog, which was a Disney vlog. We were there for like, I think 8 days in total, if I'm not mistaken. And so I packed everything into my carry-on and into a duffel. Now, I do want to preface that it was summer, so clothes was a lot lighter and thinner. When we're going, obviously it's February. Right now, today's February 1st, and I've gotten to see what the weather will look like the start of the week before we get there, and it's supposed to be in the highs, it's supposed to be like in the highs of 70s, like, well, the high is supposed to be 70. I'm saying this wrong. I'm not a meteorologist. Anyways, the high should be around 70, between 70 and 74, and the lows will be in the 50s. And so I know I will be a little chilly, especially in the mornings and the night times. I know during the day in the sun, I'll probably be warm and want to take any long sleeves I might have off. So I'm honestly thinking of really just packing like pants. I have a couple of different pants that are like almost linen material. Like they're a little thick to keep you warm, and they won't take up a lot of space in the suitcase. I think even the pants I'm wearing right now, which are, I can't even show you, they're like, just like a work straight pant. I definitely think I'll pack these for a day, but they're so thin that like, I don't think they're gonna take up a lot of space. A lot of the shirts I'm packing too, they're either t-shirts or they're ribbed t-shirts or ribbed long sleeves. So they're very thin material. Like they're really only gonna keep me warm in the day, and then I can easily roll up the sleeves if I start to get hot. And I even was like, well, I could take some t-shirts, and if I start to get hot during the day, taking that into the parks with me, so that way I can change my shirts if I like start to feel like warm and stuff. So I don't really know just yet, but I do feel like we are still going to be able to make a carry-on and suitcase work. Just a suitcase and a duffel work, or even just a big like duffel backpack, because my husband is essentially planning to pack pretty much the same thing. Obviously not linen pants, but like a men's work athletic pant. He just went through Crazy Yoga to purchase some, and so I'm hopeful that we don't have a whole lot to pack. I'll probably pack this sweatshirt and maybe one other sweatshirt, and that's all sweatshirt wise I'm going to pack / jacket wise. So I think we'll be able to make that work and not have to worry about paying for a bag, which is just nice, because then it's like you want to make sure you're saving your money for Disney. You don't want to have to spend any extra that can take away from whatever you might want to spend at the parks or just on the trip as a whole. Now, jumping into our stays. So we are actually staying at 2 different spots, and I'll explain why here in a bit. So from February 11th through the 14th, we have a reservation at Animal Kingdom Lodge at the Kidani Villages, which, if you're familiar with that is a DVC property. And we got this reservation through the DVC shop, which I'll link down below if you are interested in exploring what DVC shop has to offer. This was my first time actually booking through the DVC shop, and I want to say it was a pretty positive experience so far. We are staying, and I have it pulled up on my phone here because I kind of forgot. We are staying in a deluxe studio with a resort view, which I did put a preference of trying to put us in a like a landscape view of like the animals and stuff. I don't know if that will happen. I hope it does, but I'm also totally fine with a resort view too. My husband and I have always wanted to stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge. We both love Boma, which obviously in Jumbo House, but we are excited to just be walking distance from Boma. I hope that one morning we can go take advantage of that. If not, we can go to the little market up in Jumbo House and get Mickey waffles, all the things that we want still, and at a cheaper price too. So no worries there. But I booked it for the 11th because our flight is so late and we get in on the 12th so early in the morning. I would prefer to be able to just go straight into my room. I've already done the pre-check-in on the My Disney Experience app on my phone, and so we're good to go. All I need is for them to unlock that room on the 11th. Then in the morning, we can just go straight from getting out of the car to our room, not have to worry about checking in or doing anything like that. Now, on the 14th, we are leaving early, and the reason was because I really wanted to try to surprise Daniel with a stay. I do want to preface that the 13th is our wedding anniversary, and then the 14th is Valentine's Day. And I knew how bad he really wanted to stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and so I wanted to obviously make that happen. But booking through DVC Shop, you only have a window with certain properties to book through, and ours was the 11th through the 14th. And so I was like, well, we could do that, because the whole reason we even wanted to go on this trip to begin with is because we are Wyndham Reward members. And so where we're Wyndham Reward members, in the summer, if you watched my birthday vlog, which I'll link below on my channel, you know that we went and stayed at a Wyndham in Spokane. And so when I went to confirm the reservation, they were like, do you mind staying on the phone to hear about our offers? I was like, sure, you never know what you're going to get. And so sure enough, I was able to get a 2-night stay at Wyndham Disney Springs, Lake Buena Vista, for $99 only. Now, I do want to say the only is like you still had the resort fees and the taxes to pay, but I think in total I paid like $180 for the whole stay. For 2 nights next to Disney Springs, that's actually, I feel like, a really good deal. And so we will, on the 14th, then transfer over, like I said, to Wyndham Garden, which I'm so excited. I've never stayed there either. I've never stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge, nor the Wyndham Garden Lake Buena Vista Disney Springs property. I'm super excited for both of those stays just because they're in unique spots. They're definitely at the edge of each part of Disney. So I am curious to know how I'll feel about that. I do want to also preface that because we got this stay through like the rewards option, we do have to, on our last full day there that morning at like 8 a.m., go hear a presentation on timeshares about Wyndham rewards programs and all these different things that they have to offer. And by doing that, we actually get about 20,000 travel points through Wyndham, as well as an additional free night stay, which we can use in future. I think we have a year to use it from that moment. So there was some perks to doing that, honestly, in my personal opinion. I'm always somebody who's trying to look to see how I can save a buck when traveling and do the most affordable option. So I definitely feel like this was like the best option to, one, try new resort stays while also trying to save a little bit of money on like where we are staying. So that is where we'll be. The 11th through the 16th, we are switching, like I said. So 11th through the 14th, Animal Kingdom Lodge, Donny Villages, and then the 14th through the 16th will be at Wyndham Garden, Disney Springs, Lake Buena Vista. That is a really long name. Try saying that 5 times. For our tickets, we decided to do a 4-day park hopper. We had been going back and forth on whether we were going to do a 3-day park hopper, because we get there so early. The last times we've had an early travel date where we arrive at like 7 or 8 a.m., we don't do the parks those days. And every time we've done that, we always say like, dang, like I wish we could go into like Magic or go get a drink at Epcot or something. And so I was like, you know what? We keep saying that to ourselves. Let's just set ourselves up for success. If we don't go to a park, that's fine. I'm still planning as if we're going to go to parks each day. But if we get there, we start to feel tired, then it's like, okay, let's just chill for a second and like not be so rushed and everything. I want to reach out to Disney because my family and I, for the holidays, we just decided that Christmas, I'll spend it with Daniel and his family in West Virginia. Then Christmas Day, we are actually going to be flying down and spending a week in Disney, which I'm just so excited for. My dad is finally going to get to go with us, and it's going to be a big, fun family trip that we just haven't had in a really long time. It'll be me, my dad, Daniel, my brother, and my sister, and my mom. So there will be 6 of us. And because of that, the tickets for that, I'm 50-50 on what I want to do for tickets. So I read/heard that you can transfer the tickets I currently have for this upcoming stay into an annual pass if they haven't been used or like before the last day they've been used, and then you just have to pay the difference. If you know if that's true or not, drop that in the comments, and you would definitely save me a lot of time researching, and then I can confidently go to Disney support and just be like, help, I know I can do this, so please help. But because we're going to do a week-long stay potentially during the holidays, I say potentially, but it's definitely confirmed at this point. We've already tried to find a couple places to stay. But because of that, I definitely feel like it might be worth me and Daniel just transitioning into being annual pass holders. Specifically because for that next trip, we would be staying off property and we would have a car. And with the annual pass holder, you get the parking, you get the standard parking through it. So there's some perks with the annual pass that could just benefit us in the future. Are we probably still spending about the same money? amount of money maybe, but I don't know. And that's where I'm like, I want to look more into this. But for right now, the tickets that we have are a 4-day Port Carper ticket. I need another drink because I feel like I've just been talking for so long. I am like halfway done with this, guys. So jumping into our itinerary. Excuse me. Oh my God, am I getting sick? If I'm getting sick, I hope I'm getting sick now than before I go on this, then when I'm on this trip. That always happened. The past few times I've ever gone on a Disney February trip, I ended up getting sick at the last day. So I hope that's not the case. But our itinerary. So obviously we know Wednesday the 11th, we're traveling that whole day. We'll get to the airport probably around, I'd say 9. I think for dinner, we're just going to do McDonald's or Qdoba, because those are like the fast food restaurants in Seattle that will be open still at around that time. And we'll get our food, go straight to the gate, just kind of wait and get ready for takeoff. Where we're taking off at 11:25, I'd imagine we're starting to board at about like 10:40. So that gives us enough time to go through security, getting there at 9. We do have TSA pre-check as well as clear. And so if you don't have that, definitely get it. I swear we're through security in like 5 minutes. It's amazing. But we'll get through security, have time to eat, go to the bathroom, refill our waters, and most likely buy a water just because it's a long flight and I want to make sure I have enough water to like keep me hydrated through the whole thing. Even though I know I'll be asleep, but the next morning I know I'll just be thirsty too. Thursday when we get in, we arrive at 7:45 at MCO, and I cannot wait to see that ugly green carpet because that means you know your Disney trip has officially started. And so then from there, we're going to Uber straight to Kidani Villages. I thought about doing a Mears Connect, but I was like, I don't want to be stuck waiting around for the bus. I'd rather just hop in an Uber and dash off. And then hopefully that puts us at Kidani Village at around 8:30 in the morning. So then we'll unpack, check in. Well, we don't even need to check into our room. We can go straight to our room. And the plan is right now, which Daniel and I talked about, is that he is not a big breakfast person, but if you know me, I have to have breakfast in the morning. And so he is going to go to the room, take the luggage while I go and get food. So that way I'm not hangry while I'm getting ready. And then once we're done getting ready at about 10:30, 11-ish, we're going to take off to Animal Kingdom, and just because it's right in our backyard, so of course we want to just jump straight over there. First things first, I want to stop at that Joffrey's Hut, and if you know Animal Kingdom, you know that Joffrey's Hut is right there when you're first getting there. I want to get a shaken Jamaican. I've never tried it, but one of the creators I love to follow on YouTube, Brianna Woodbine, her and her family always get shaken Jamaicans, especially in that little hut area, if you're familiar with their content. And I'm just like, I'm so excited to try this. And my husband is even excited. And so we are going to start the Animal Kingdom adventure with a shaken Jamaican, of course. From there, I figured might as well enjoy it and walk to Safari, as well as hopping on Safari and doing the whole adventure through that and being able to just also chill and drink our drinks. After, I'm hoping to get a lightning lane. My lightning lane's open. Today is the 1st, so our lightning lanes actually open, I think they open on Wednesday, which is the 4th. So I'm hoping to get a lightning lane for Avatar Flight of Passage as well as Avatar Na'vi River Journey. And so I'm hoping to get those kind of back to back so we can just hop from one to the other. I'll most likely do Na'vi River first thing because immediately you can hop on, and then right after go to Flight of Passage because we also know the little holding area, that takes a minute to go through. You can't just immediately hop on the ride. After we come out of Flight of Passage, gotta hit up Pongu Pongu. If I'm saying that correctly, yay. And if I'm not, please correct me with the pronunciation in the comments. But we will be going to Pongu Pongu to get a boba ball margarita, and I will never pass up the opportunity to get one of those. After that, we're going to kind of make our way over to Pizzafari for lunch. I have never had Pizzafari, fun fact. And it's pizza. You can't go wrong with it. But I was like, let's get something I know we can share that like will feel full but not stuffed, because we do have dinner reservations later on, which I'll get to. But I was like, let's do that because I want to walk on over and get a sweet treat from Zuri's Sweet Shop. That's kind of hard. Sweet treat from Zuri's Sweet Shop. But that will kind of be our lunch treat moment. I know at that point Daniel will be pretty hungry where he's not a breakfast person, so it's perfect. Then after, make our way over to Mount Everest. I hope to get a lightning lane for that. And then as we kind of walk around the park, at that time, Dino Land will officially be closed, as today that I'm making this video, February 1st, is the day that Dino Land goes extinct. And that's just so sad to say. But I'm excited for Encanto and all of that to come in future, I think in 2027. But I do want to do the new Zootopia show. I think it's like a theater animation show. I do want to do that. And then I want to wrap up our little adventure at Animal Kingdom by doing pics at the Tree of Life, because you got to get the pics for the gram. From there, I want to try to take a break and go back to the room to kind of just like freshen up, maybe drop some stuff off if we bought anything. If we're going to get a sweet treat, we might have extras, so just leaving those at the room might just be ideal. And then from there, I want to hop on over to Disney Springs, because I feel like on the first day, you have to go to Disney Springs. Daniel and I know we want to really just be in the world of Disney, pin traders, Little Words, Project Magic of Disney area. So I know we won't have a lot of walking to do pretty much. I want to go to World of Disney I always try to find a shirt on each trip. I really want the birthday cake shirt right now that I've seen all over Instagram. I really hope that they'll still be in stock, but if they're not, I'm sure there's going to be other options by that point, because it'll be kind of the end of Valentine's Day, so I have a feeling a lot of the new spring collections will start to roll out to get rid of the Valentine's Day stuff. So from there, I want to do pin traders because I got to get me some mystery packs. I'm so excited because when I used to work at Disney, I was definitely into pin trading. I had a lot of different pins, but then once I moved, I kind of just gave them away because I was like, I don't really care to keep up with this anymore. But now I've just seen so many new pins coming onto the market that I'm like, I need to get back into this. And so I've slowly been collecting pins here and there at little vintage markets. I've been taking a magnet to try and see which ones are legitimate pins, because if you know that there are scrappers out there, and unfortunately I do have a couple of scrappers, but I do have some real ones as well. But I want to get a few so that I can definitely trade and start collecting. I really want to collect the Sorcerer Mickey, some Sorcerer Mickeys, and do a little collection of that, and then maybe a collection of Stitches is what I want to do. So I'm excited for that. We want to jump into, I think, Magic of Disney, if I'm not mistaken, is what it's called, or the Marketplace Co-op. I can't remember, but I'll look it up again. But Daniel and I really want to find the mystery box trash cans, and so I don't think we'll go crazy with that. I think we might just buy one or two, but we really want to get them to put on this shelf back here. So hopefully we can find those. If we have time, after Disney Springs, we're going to bus over to Magic Kingdom and watch Happily Ever After. Now, if we don't, we do have a dinner reservation at the last possible reservation you could possibly get at the day. At 9:50 p.m. at Polynesian, we are doing Ohana for dinner. We are, doing it that late because that was all available, but then two, if you know my husband, you know he is a very late eater. So I just want to make sure he is ready to eat and be fulfilled, because Ohana dinner is pretty big. And so we will go to that if we have time for Magic Kingdom fireworks. We'll watch from the very back, probably the train station area, then hop on the monorail and go straight to the Polynesian to make our reservation at 9:50. And then we will be done with our first day. Yay! Yay! Which, reading this aloud, it took me like 8 minutes to read. So this is my point though. I've made these plans and I'm okay with some of them shifting because I know the first day will probably be a little tired. We may not want to go to Magic Kingdom after Animal Kingdom. I put a break in there, and so it's like, if we want to stay a little bit longer on the break and then go to Disney Springs, and from Disney Springs go straight to Polynesian and just take an Uber or take one of the buses, then we can totally do that. It's not a big deal. So I'm just excited though that we're doing a dinner reservation at Polynesian. I've never done dinner at Polynesian, and I'm also just excited because it butts up to our anniversary date, which is February 13th. It'll be our 1-year wedding anniversary, which I'm just so excited to even spend at Disney, and of course spend it with my husband. But we wanted to do Polynesian because we got married in Hawaii, and when we went to Aulani, and I have some ears which I'm going to take with me so I can wear them to the Polynesian, because I'm just kind of like, I can't let these just sit here and collect dust. I have to wear them to the Polynesian. But that is going to be our first day. It's a lot, but I'm hopeful we'll get through some of it, and if not, we'll take breaks as we need them. Now, jumping into Friday, February 13th, we have never truly done, my husband nor I, a full Hollywood Studios day. And I feel like even though Muppets did just close, there's so much to offer at Hollywood Studios now. And so our day is kind of just jam-packed with Hollywood Studios stuff that we're really not going to take a break. If anything, we'll probably take a long sit-down break somewhere and like let our phones charge, snack a little bit, maybe kind of doze off and rest our eyes for a second. But I don't think we're going to be taking a resort break that day. And so TBD though, because that will be like our last full day at Animal Kingdom Lodge. So we want to enjoy that as well. But we want to get up and try to do breakfast at Boma that morning. And so if we don't get to do it, totally fine, understandable. I haven't been able to make a reservation, and I think it's just because it butts up to President's Day as well as Valentine's Day weekend. So the park is just going to be crazy. I do know that there's also a big gymnastics competition happening during that time. So the weekend, I know I can expect to be crazy, which is why I'm on my Lightning Lane game right now. But that morning, we're going to try to get to Hollywood Studios at around 10:30 in the morning. I want to do one of the Star Wars coffee, and even my husband is super excited for that because it has a little Cocoa Puffs on top. Then we want to try to do Rise of the Resistance. I'm hopeful to get a Lightning Lane for that, as well as Millennium Falcon and Slinky Dog. I want to knock out all of the big rides in that area first. So that way, we're just kind of done with that back part of the park already. And then after all of that, do Toy Story Mania. We have a 1:15 p.m. reservation at Sci-Fi Dine-In. We have a 1:15 p.m. reservation at Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater, which I'm excited because I've never done it. I've always wanted to. My husband has before, and he loved it. He didn't really tell me much about how the food was, and I've heard mixed reviews, but I'm also just kind of like, for like food and also you're kind of getting a show, I know that the prices are reasonable, so it's kind of like, I can see why the food reviews are a little mixed because like I'm sure it's more focused on the experience rather than the food. But Daniel and I will most likely just share a meal that day because I know I'll have a big breakfast, and Daniel's like, I don't want to be stuffed because I would love to like eat or like snack before the end of the night or just go grab dinner somewhere else like outside of the parks or DoorDash something. But I'm jumping ahead. So we'll do Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater. Then at 2:45 p.m. I'm hopeful to get a Lightning Lane for Mickey's Runaway Railway. Anywhere between 2:30 to 3:30 is when I would love a Lightning Lane. Then I want to do the Indiana Jones show. It should still be happening at that time that we're there. And so I want to catch one of the last few showings of it at 3:15. I've never watched it, and my husband has told me I am missing out on that. And so I'm like, okay, like I have to go watch it then, I guess. Then from there, we want to jump on over and do the Frozen Ever After show. I've never done that. Daniel has never done that either. And so we will try to catch the 4:30 p.m. showing. And then by that time, a lot of our lightning lanes would have been used. And I'm hopeful that we'll get another lightning lane for Rock and Roll Roller Coaster. And since we'll already be in that area, the new Villains show, I have just seen all over YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and I'm like, I want to go watch this. And they have showings pretty much all day, up until like, I think at 7 or 8 p.m. And so we want to try to catch the 5:50 p.m. Villains show. And then after that, make our way over, because the show's about 20 minutes, hopefully get another lightning lane for around anywhere between 6 and like 8 p.m. for Tower of Terror, and kind of wrap up there. And then do just the shops and snacks in Hollywood Boulevard area, because we obviously want to catch Fantasmic at 9 p.m. So like I said, we do have a full studios day that day. I am hopeful we'll work in a little bit more breaks, but I think our breaks will really just be, 1, kind of sleeping in a little later and not rope dropping, 2, our lunch at Sci-Fi Dine-In, and then 3, having like a big break before Fantasmic. And I told Daniel I'm down to eat during the show, so that way we go straight back to the room, but if not, putting in a DoorDash order the minute we're leaving the park after Fantasmic, so then by the time we're getting back to Animal Kingdom Lodge, getting DoorDash from there. But also, too, Kidani Villages, I can't remember the little like grab and go station, but they're actually open till 11:30. And so I told him, I was like, I'm down to get off at Jumbo House, grab food there, and then go back to our room and just be in for the night and get ready for bed. Because then the next morning, we actually have a really we have a really early start day on Saturday, February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. We just have a lot to celebrate, I feel like. But this is going to be our Epcot day as well as our resort switch day. So that morning, I would love to be up and out of the room by 8:30 in the morning and leave our bags at bag check. I would love to try to be either on our way to the parks or at Epcot by 9 a.m. and do the world celebration, ultimately like the front half of Epcot, and get a lightning lanes for about 9:30 in the morning for Guardians. So first thing we'll do when we get there. Then do a lightning lane for Test Track, of course, and then a lightning lane for Soarin'. Those are the 3 lightning lanes I'm hoping to get throughout the day. And then after Soaring, we're hoping to do Living with the Land, and we're hoping to get to Living with the Land at around 11, and then either do lunch in Connections Cafe or what is it called? I can't remember. Sunshine Seasons. Just because I would prefer Sunshine Seasons, but I think it's just because of the food options. There are lighter options there and a little bit of a healthier option too, compared to Connections Cafe. So I think we will probably try to go with Sunshine Seasons, but I also know we would probably want to do Connections Cafe. So I'm just going to see what we feel for that morning. And then hopefully do the Disney Broadway walkthrough, so that way we can see a lot of like the art, the costumes, everything from Disney Broadway, because we will be there during I think the last weekend of the Arts Festival at Epcot. And then we want to do the paint with numbers. I've never been able to do that, and when I was telling Daniel about it, he's like, I think that's so cool. I want to make sure I get the bookmark for when we go, because I think that's just going to be great scrapbooking material. And I told Daniel when we come back, I really want to shadow box a lot of the stuff, just because it is an anniversary trip, and I feel like there's a lot of memorabilia that can come with it. After we do all of that, I'm hopeful it's around 1:30 that we can go back to Animal Kingdom Lodge, grab our bags, and then switch to hotels. I'm hoping to bus to Animal Kingdom Lodge, grab our bags, Uber to the Wyndham Hotel, drop our bags, do an early check-in, and then at around 3:30, go back to Epcot and actually Uber from Wyndham to Epcot. Or I want to Uber from Wyndham to the boardwalk, so then we get the back entrance into the World Showcase of Epcot. And I might try to do a lightning lane for Remy's. I might just try to also see what is the wait time for that. I'm not a big Remy's fan. It's not that I hate it, I just don't love it. I like it, and if I can either get a lightning lane for it or wait time is not super long, then I will definitely do Remy's for sure. But then at that point, from the time we get there till the fireworks time, we are going to just be doing a drink around the world, which I'm excited because this time, the last time we went, Daniel and I tried to do our own drink around the world. And by like the 3rd country, we were so full on liquid that I was like, I can't keep drinking anymore. Like, I'm literally so full. Like, my shorts didn't feel like they fit. And that's because I was wearing athletic shorts. But this time we're going to just share. And we also said, because like we don't want to get intoxicated, we want to, just enjoy the time, but also enjoy all of the food in the showcase, but also as part of the art festival, we would just share things back and forth. So that way, 1, it saves us money. 2, we get to experience a lot more of the food and drinks that are offered there during that time. My 3 drinks that I really want to get is in Norway, I want to get the Viking coffee. China, I want to get a Lotus House tea. Germany, I want to get a grapefruit beer. Daniel loves the grapefruit beer, and I've never had it, so he's like, I'm game if you are. Like, let's do that instead. But we've never watched the Epcot fireworks, and so I was like, I need to give it the chance to, like, 1, just see it, but then 2, give it my own review. So we'll see what comes of that. I'm excited because we'll just grab food from one of the pavilions there in the World Showcase, kind of sit tight at around like 8:30, 8:45 and watch the show. And then we will probably leave through the boardwalk and just Uber back to Wyndham because we'll be in the showcase, so it just makes the most sense to leave through there. But I don't know yet because I kind of want some photos and stuff in front of the Epcot ball before we like leave the park, since it'll be nighttime already. The monorail will be running. It's very lit up. It's very pretty at that time. So we'll see what happens on that front, and we'll just kind of see how we're feeling, maybe even how our feet and legs are feeling by this day. So our last full park day, Sunday, February 15th, This is the day we actually have to sit in on the Wyndham Rewards presentation, which will actually be happening at Wyndham Bonnet Creek, which is, I'd say, probably down, like going towards Animal Kingdom Lodge. And so we're just going to Uber there. The presentation starts at 8:30 in the morning. And so we're going to leave to the presentation at around like 7:50, maybe even 8 o'clock. And that will last till 10:30. And then from there, we are going to go straight to Magic Kingdom. Now, the last time we went to Magic, I feel like we rode everything until our hearts were content. And I really want to just kind of take this Magic Kingdom day and like just really soak it in and not be rushing from ride to ride to ride. And I ultimately, my 3 lightning lanes that I want are Space Mountain, Peter Pan, and Haunted Mansion. And then I want to work in the People Mover, Carousel Progress, and Small World. And those are the rides I truly just want to ride while we're there. I am, of course, open to, if there are smaller wait times for some of the bigger rides and attractions, will 100% do them. But I am also just kind of like, I would rather go into the shops. I want to go eat some of the foods and stuff. And so the one place we really want to grab lunch this day, and so I think we'll probably start at Haunted Mansion since we want to grab lunch at Pico's Bill. I really want to try the barbecue. I've seen really great things. I've seen a lot of creators stop in and eat there because they say that's a really good meal, good bang for your buck for everything you get. So Daniel and I really want to try Pico's Bill. And so when we first get there, we'll probably do Pico's Bill for lunch and then do Haunted Mansion and then just work our way down to Tomorrowland and into Main Street to where we can shop, grab snacks, food. I really want the popcorn bucket with all of the candy and the confectionery and stuff. So yeah, we're not really going to be going hard on the Magic Kingdom day, just because I feel like the last time we were there, we never really got to just sit and enjoy Magic Kingdom. We didn't enjoy a lot of the parades. We didn't enjoy a lot of the shows in front of the castle. So this time, I really just want to sit there and enjoy it. And of course, we have to wrap up our day at Magic Kingdom with the Happily Ever After fireworks. Now, if you remember the night we do Polynesian, which is on the 12th, I want to try to make it to Happily Ever After. But if we don't, then at least I know this night is our last night and we get to do that before we get to go back home. And I feel like I'm going to cry just because I'm excited to just experience that with my husband and just know we had probably one of the best Disney trips. And just especially because it's on our anniversary, 1 year being married, and I feel like there's so much to just be grateful for in that trip. So I feel like I already, talking about it, I'm like thinking of crying already. This is how emotional I get. I'm sorry, guys. But that will be our Magic Kingdom day. It's not a lot, and we're trying to keep it that way because I think we're just really trying to enjoy the last day, like I said, kind of take it easy. If maybe we want to take a break and go back to the resort, we can do that. And I say resort, but to the Wyndham Hotel, we can do that and pack up our stuff. We're even considering, once we're there, maybe seeing how we feel after the presentation, going back to the hotel, doing, getting our stuff together, and then going to Magic Kingdom to close out the park day. But that is really going to be our plans on Monday, February 16th. That is our travel day back to Seattle. And so our flight is at 8:50 in the morning, and we want to try to get to MCO at 6:30 in the morning. Since it's President's Day, since everyone will probably be traveling out of Florida back to their respective hometowns, it makes the most sense to try to get there at around 6:30 so we have enough time to go through security, take the little train to the terminal we're going to be in, have time to grab breakfast, eat, all those things, because we will have at least, I'd say, like a 5-hour flight back to Seattle. And again, we are just doing the carry-on and duffel bag for that flight. But that is really it for all of the plans. And so I am just so excited. Like I said, if you're going to be there in the park, the 12th through the 15th, please say hi. I would love to meet you all. I can drop down my park days in the description below, just because I knew that was just a lot to throw at you guys all of a sudden. But before we end this vlog, I just kind of wanted to show a little bit of a haul that I've already kind of acquired for this trip. So y'all heard me mention I want to do some pen traders. So I went ahead and I got the Go Pen Pro folios. And so I have this one, which this one is a legit Disney pen. It has the little number on the backside and it is magnetized. So I'm gonna want to keep this one. Now these are actually scrappers. Like these are the fakes. And so I want to see, I'm taking them with me because I know that there are other people out there who maybe have the scrappers and fakes. And so I'm like, maybe we could trade. Like it's totally fine. But I want to just take them as a just in case. This is my one pin so far that I'm going to trade. This one is magnetized. It has the like little number on the back side and everything too. So this is going to be definitely a trader. These are my scrappers, and then this will be my keep. And so if you see me in the parks, please come trade with me. I want to start getting more Sorcerer Mickey stuff, and as well as, like I said earlier, Stitch pins from I think it was Little Things with Sam. I got a Mickey themed, I got a Disney Mickey themed cup sleeve, which I've actually already been using this here in Seattle because it's obviously cold and rainy and I'm a big iced coffee person. So I got these for me and my husband. It was funny because like my husband saw these, he was like, oh, cute. But then when I started to use it, my husband's like, oh, well, like, is mine pink too? And I was like, yes, like I got us the same one. He was like, I don't know about that, like, and I was like, whatever. So then today we actually went for iced coffee this morning, which obviously is not helping the sore throat, but whatever. I put it in there and he had an iced coffee and he was like, I wish I had that sleeve right about now so that way I could hold my coffee and my fingers not be cold. And I was like, So I was like, don't worry about the color, worry about the functionality of what I got you, please. And so he's like, okay, well now I'm excited that you got me one of these. And then the last haul, oh, they're over here. I have new Mickey ears that I'm going to be taking with me. And so I wanted these ears the last time we went and I didn't get them. And I regret not getting them because they're literally so cute and they could go with anything. I ended up ordering these, which I think was probably such a big mistake of me to do because they ended up being way more expensive with the shipping and taxes and fees than they would have been in the parks. So don't be like me. Don't order the ears unless they're like a limited edition thing, then obviously get them. But if there's something you know it's going to be in the park every single day, do not order them. But I am excited because I have a lot of outfits I think that these are going to go really well with when we're at the parks. Now, I do want to try to take these for our Epcot day because one, they have all of like the different colors and I just feel like these are so fun to have. My friend Peyton, y'all have heard me mention her a few times in the vlog, which one day she'll make an appearance, I promise. She got these a couple years ago and she was like, I don't really use them. She's not as big of a Disney person as I am. So she was like, do you want them? And I was like, yes, please. Like, I'll pay for the shipping. And so she gifted me these. And then she also gifted me these little beignet ones. And so I was actually with her when she bought these because we got them when we were at Disneyland, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And when she first got them, you could scratch them and they actually smelled like beignets. But I was like, these are actually, oh my God, they actually kind of still smell like beignets. I'm not even lying, guys. I kind of smell like a sweetness coming from them. I want to wear these the day I go to Animal Kingdom just because they're a more neutral color, so I feel like they're going to fit a little bit better with what I'm wearing, even though like I feel like these would go better at like Port Orleans or Epcot, but I want to wear these to Animal Kingdom. I feel like they're going to go better with the outfit I'm wearing that day. But yeah, that is a little bit of the haul. I really hope you guys enjoyed this Disney planning video as much as I have. If you love all things Disney and you're excited to see what's to come on my Disney trip, please go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up, turn on those post notifications so you never miss, and most importantly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I cannot wait to catch you in the next one because that means it'll be time to pack and prep to take off on our Disney adventure. And I'm so excited, you guys. I'm genuinely so excited. But anyways, I've yapped enough, so I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.